So my name is Joel Belshaw. I'm from Merthyr Tudful and I attended Penedre High School. So growing up when I was really young, I wanted to be a footballer. And then when I became more in tune with the world, I wanted to become a police officer. So my job now is called an implementation lead, and I work for Wales and West Utilities. So on a day-to-day basis, I manage the introduction and the implementation of brand new products, services, techniques, and technologies across our network, which serves 7.5 million people. And in order to do that, I tend to deal with quite a lot of people. So I deal with managers, I deal with suppliers and engineers, as well as create project plans to make sure that we can deliver these new services and products on time and to budget. And I raise investment cases to make sure that there is money secured for the projects that we want to do. And then on an ongoing basis, I will measure performance by tracking how many times these new technologies and services and products are being used across our network. So my overriding memory of education is one that is positive, really. I never really hated or disliked going to school. I quite enjoyed learning about a load of different subjects, some of which I was interested in more than others. And when I got to secondary school, I was then really able to focus on the areas and the subjects that I really wanted to pique my interest in when it came down to choosing my choices. And then from there, I decided to go to university and specialise in one subject, which was business. I went to business school. And even now, I still look for opportunities to try and develop my skills and potentially learn about new subjects or become even more knowledgeable about specific subjects. So when I was younger, the people who inspired me the most are probably my parents. They came from humble backgrounds, they worked really hard, and as a result, they progressed in their careers. And then from a school perspective, there were a number of teachers, and one in particular stands out, and she was a teacher called Miss Matthews, who taught drama, and she really developed confidence and skills in me that I was then able, um, in my time after school, when I was looking to go to the workplace, she really developed transferable skills for me to move and apply to the workplace. And she was excellent. She would be honest in her feedback, but never critical, but purely constructive. And I think she generally wanted the best for everybody that she taught. And she was a fantastic teacher for me in that regard. And then later on, I tried to just try and grab as many experiences as I could. One summer holidays, I went to work at a charity for the 6 weeks holiday period, and that charity supported vulnerable families and parents. And not only did I see the work that they were doing in the communities, but I actually saw behind the scenes, of the organisation, of the business, and started to understand potentially where I wanted to be and what type of job I wanted in the future. And then at university, that interest in businesses and experiences continued. And at the end of my first year of my university course, I had an opportunity through Rolls-Royce to move to Derby for 3.5 months and go up there to their engineering management centre to do a summer internship in operations management. And that's what I did. I moved away again out of Cardiff, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time there. So when I came back to my second year of study, I was quite ambitious, and I had a good idea then of where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do, and with even better skills then to take forward. So that kind of led me down the line of project management, project related work, which is to a degree the area of work that I'm in now. Yeah, so in Penedre we had a careers advisor called Kerry, and he was great at just understanding um, where, what line of work, what industries I was interested in. And like I said earlier, I think a lot of people when they're growing up want to be a footballer, but when I became slightly more realistic and started, understanding other lines of work, then I at that age wanted to go into the police, and he was great at helping to organise work experience. So, for example, my first work experience opportunity, I went down to South Wales Police in Pontypridd, and I just understood some of the roles and responsibilities that they do, and saw some of the administrative, the business, and the office side of the work. And he was great at organising those types of opportunities, as well as I went to a primary school. I went back to my old primary school for work experience, and he was great again at liaising with the primary school and kind of coordinating that work experience week. And aside from Kerry and Miss Matthews, probably my parents, they had got a big impression on me and my idea of work. My dad was slightly more relaxed and said, simply whatever you do, go and be the best you can be at it. And he was quite relaxed about it. And my mum was quite determined to make sure that, I did well in school and that I took my career quite seriously, and I quickly found an area of interest that I wanted to go and develop further in. And so she would always try and push me a little bit, and that's exactly what I needed. I needed that balance, and so yeah, I was very fortunate there. And then at Rolls Royce, there was a particular line manager that I had who was quite harsh on me, and quite authoritative, and I knew exactly what he wanted, and that kind of helped to pull me and my standards of work up during my time there. So he kind of stands out, and like I said, I've been quite fortunate, and even in the role that I'm in now, my manager is excellent at developing my strengths, helping to constructively point out where I can improve, and also provide me with opportunity to showcase my skills and to develop the projects and the processes that I manage on a daily basis. So I've been really fortunate throughout school and since leaving school, but it's all been through experiences which I have gone out to find. I don't think anybody can give you a career on the plate. You have to go out, you have to be the best you can be, and you just have to try and take opportunities with both hands. And thankfully, it served me quite well. Education, play your part. Be the best you can be. I'm playing my part.